So this is Director Doug at Zappcon, and we're talking to Sarah, who is one of the event, actually one of the main people, and we need to hear her story. Sarah, please tell us about how this all came about here. Zappcon 2014, the first one in Fresno, the first one of many.
Yes, we are a group of friends that came together and we're sitting around a table discussing why doesn't Fresno have this geeky event where we have the community. It just hasn't happened yet, you know, and our founder MJ, you know, eventually said, if I want to make this happen, will you help me? You know, and so that was kind of the spark. And because he worked in the comic book world, and so we all kind of came together, and you know, we have this very synergetic team. We work really well together. You know, there were no threats of death or anything this week. No, it's really been wonderful, and I'm very grateful to Jen and David and Tammy. There's 4 of us on the board, and it's been beautiful. It's great to like see it all happen, my dreams coming true.
And it's nice to see it happen very smoothly, very organized and professional, so everyone who attends here is having a great experience. It's really wonderful for the vendors and the gamers. What are some of the activities, Sarah, that are going on here today all around us?
There's a lot of activities that are sort of competing with each other, actually. We have some live action role playing in which you can practice combat with foam weapons. There's kind of a specific rules to it though, so it's not just, you know, whacking each other. And there's a lot of open board gaming, and there's the card game tournaments like Magic the Gathering and My Little Pony that people can play. We've got lots of vendors, of course, and artists in the Artist Alley, but we also have panels, and the list goes on. And there's a kids zone, so the kids can get their face painted and play a game or do some tumbling as the superhero training. You know, so it's very busy, very busy.
Well, that's good, and that's what it's all about. And I think there's a lot of people who are dressed up, and we call it cosplay. Is there anything going along as far as the cosplay venue here?
Yes, we have a cosplay contest. It'll be at 5 o'clock tonight. We have 5 prizes to give out. We have Best of Show, the Best of Show runner-up, Best Group Cosplay, Best Presentation, and the Judge's Choice Award.
Well, there's a lot to do here, and we're looking forward to even a larger venue, because this is, again, is the first one, Zappcon, Fresno, California, down at the Convention Center for 2014, and we're talking to Sarah, and these young people obviously are making it happen, and it's all about making it happen for you. Thank you, Sarah, for your time. We know you're extremely busy on opening day.
Yes, it's been a good kind of busy, though. It's been great.
Here we are at a different and exciting booth, and we have 2 young people who are going to tell us about what they do and their interaction together. And the young lady to my right is?
Holly Brooke.
And what is your character?
I'm dressed as Zero Suit Samus from Metroid.
Great, and you are, sir?
My name's Keith Garabedian, and I am the owner of Kuroga Forge.
That's Crow Forge?
Kuroga Forge.
Kuroga Forge, and I see that you forged something. Tell us about what you do in the area of props.
I've known Holly for a long time, and she's a very talented cosplayer, so when I can, I make props for her, and this is one of them. This is a very large mallet for her Harley Quinn costume from Batman. This is polystyrene, which styrofoam, and then this is basically a truck bed liner. And it's lighter than it looks.
So you've been doing cosplay how long, and what are some of your favorite characters?
I've been cosplaying since 2009, and some of my favorite characters, usually DC characters. I dress as Harley Quinn, Catwoman. I'm in the middle of making a Batgirl, and I have a Black Canary as well. And I also dress as a lot of Capcom characters like Cammy White from Street Fighter and Morgan from Darkstalkers.
Are you going to be at the convention's The Masquerade contest this evening?
Yes, I will. I'll be judging it actually. So.
One of the judges, great. Well, you know, so the channels on television are really promoting that, not only the costuming and the creation of the characters and from scratch. It's amazing talent. And without it, with both of you, I have to form like a dual alliance. I mean, what's a character without one of the props? Tell us about this weapon.
This is Samus's Paralyzer, and Keith was really nice enough to make this gun for me, and it is really, really impressive. I have no idea how he made this, but it is really, really fine work.
Well, being this close, I can still see that it probably very likely works. So don't pull that trick. Oh, you just did. So
Yeah,
that's
I don't
great.
even, so it's pretty cool.
Very cool. And how long have you been doing this, and what do you expect to do in the future here?
I've been making stuff whenever I can for years, since I pretty much could take anything apart. I started when she started, basically. I saw that she was making costumes, so I offered to make props for her, and it's something I really enjoy. I'd like to do it more, but I still have school, I still have work, so those things come first, and I'd like to take it to the next level, though.
Well, that's great. You don't want to quit your day job, but if anybody could, from what I see here, you've got a very good future for you, and we certainly wish you the best in judging, and I'm sure you'll see a lot of fine costumes.
I hope so, yeah. Thank you.
And thank you.
Thank you.
The foremost comic book store in Central California. Dave, welcome.
Hello, how are you today?
Oh, this is great. Tell us about what you expect to experience here today.
Well, we'll see. There are a lot of people out for all kinds of fun, gaming, comics, cosplay. It's going to be a lot of fun today, I think.
Great. Now, you're Heroes Comics. How long have you been in business?
We've been in business 25 years here in Fresno.
So you started when you were a baby, an infant.
That's right. I'm still in diapers, to tell you the truth, but
Well, you do a great job and a great service, and you're probably one of, if not the largest comic book store in Central California.
that's true. Yes, we are the largest in Central California. Yes.
Wow, well, you're an example of an entrepreneur making it and big and sticking and staying and make a big difference. It's great. This is David here, right here at Zappcon in Fresno, California. Hi.
Howdy.
Strong drift there. Hey, tell us about your booth here at Zappcon.
We're with the 501st Star Wars Costuming Group. We do a lot for charity, kids groups, all volunteer. We try to we all love Star Wars, so we try to bring the love of Star Wars to the younger kids and get them involved with movie, film accurate props and all our costumes. And we take great pride in what we do. We take great pride in putting our costumes together. As you can see, it's film accurate, and that's one of the requirements to be in our organization, is to have a film accurate costume.
And so how many members are in the local area here?
Oh, here just in Fresno, I think we have 10 families with 10 to 15 members.
10 to 15, so is it growing?
It's growing. Every month we get interest, phone calls, events like this. We get all our pamphlets and cards out there. And I had 2 people stop by just today telling me that they're halfway done with their costume, or who do I need to get in contact? I need help with this. So here's our number, here's our card. Give us a call. Once you give us a call, we're more than happy to help you out.
Well, there goes a lot of support, and that's great. You're supporting people in all levels. Isn't there a film coming out pretty soon?
There is. December 15th, I believe, is the new Star Wars film by Disney. Took the Star Wars franchise over, and they're rolling out a new one.
Well, Disney should do a very good job too, and we thank you for the great job you're doing here, and look forward to seeing your organization. How do they contact you if they're interested in joining?
You can go to the 501st Legion. The website is on here somewhere.
Okay, so it's the 501st Legion.
You can just do a search for 501st Legion. There is different garrisons and outposts in every state across the United States, every country across the world.
Well, you got us. Can't miss it. Well, you've got us covered. Thank you for your time and dedication.
I'm an artist. I came from Las Vegas. I design my own T-shirts. The name of the brand is called Bad to the Bone. It features a series of dog characters that I created. Yes, and then I make all these shirts myself. That means I pick up my own fabrics. The inks are my own formula. So when you put them in the wash, they stay fresh. They the colors stay saturated, and then when you pull on it, they don't crack, they don't fade. Yeah, if you zoom in on a lot of the T-shirts, all the outlines are 3D. They have like an embossed look. I use a high density ink for some of the 3D outlines, and I also use flocking. And the gold and silver ink that I use, are premium gold and silver ink. That means when they go into the wash, they come out, they don't fade.
Well, I've never seen anything like this. It's absolutely beautiful. And so you came all the way from Las Vegas here to Zappcon in Fresno?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Did you go to other comic conventions as well?
Actually, as far as comic convention, this is my first one. I'll see how I do today, and then see if I want to go to more conventions after this one.
Well, I'm sure the conventions want to see you more often. This is absolutely incredible. So, and what's your name again, and where do we find your information on the web?
My name is Richie Wu, and I have a website. The website is bonefashion.us.
Wow. Well, I don't see how you can come in with any better than this, but and new. You're just like a gold mine of creativity here. Well, thank you, Mr. Wood. We certainly look forward to seeing you at every Comic-Con convention after this one. So you take care. With some enterprising young men who are actually with Z Survive. And tell us about what Z Survive is all about.
Well, I'm Scott Sargent. I'm the producer and the writer for the movie Z Survive, which is actually also turned into a comic book, and we have a video game that's going to complement the movie. The movie's going to be shot in Lemoore, California. We have about 60% of our actors are stable actors, and then we're going to have auditions for not only for the remaining cast, but for background, people who want to be zombies, which is like, I get calls almost every day for that. And we're looking at starting production next year and finishing by the end of summer, and looking for the movie to come out end of 2015, beginning of 2016.
Well, anybody that's made a movie or even the slightest production knows how much work goes into it. You can't imagine, but these gentlemen are, because they're at the forefront of making it happen. And Mr. Meacham, you're an actor that's been doing a lot of work. What's your role here in Z Survive and your experience so far?
I play the fire chief, and I'm going around saving people left and right, killing zombies. It's a lot of fun, so yeah.
Well, a fireman killing things, that's the kind of a unique experience there. And so you're actually, the key word there was auditioning. Tell us about that and when and how people can get involved.
Yeah, the auditions will happen fairly soon. We're still outlining a few pre-production things that we need to line out. And people, if they go on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/groups/Z Survive, and they sign up on there, they'll get all the information. You can see pictures, you can see videos, you can see all kinds of information. It'll take you 2 hours to go through it all if you really want to start backtracking through it all. A lot of information, a lot of fun. And then when we have auditions and we have casting calls, things like that, we'll be posting it on Facebook, so people will get information and they can come freely.
Sounds like they got to get their GPS out and find out where Lemoore, California is. If you can find Fresno, at least you started. Well, gentlemen, Mr. Meacham, it's an honor to see you, and I know that you're in a lot of productions. One by one.
One by One is designed to allow people to create pixel art anywhere they want. So, like you can see, we're making really cool, fun Pokemon characters with pixel art. Another popular thing is like perler beads, and we wanted to sort of capture that perler bead community and also improve the way you apply it to stuff. So you can put it on your car, you can put it on laptops, devices, that sort of thing, and it's durable and it'll last and do well like that.
So in other words, the ultraviolet rays is resistant to that, so at least to some degree?
Yeah, it's resistant to the sun. It'll last about 2 to 3 years in the sun. Actually, I should correct. These are our prototype. This will only last a year. But the reason we're on Kickstarter is to get funding to improve the quality of our vinyl. And improving the quality of the vinyl will make it so it'll last like 2 to 3 years in like direct sunlight. And
so there you go. You're at Kickstarter. You're looking for funding through the Kickstarter. That's great. And how long is this your idea? And how long have you been going and trying to get the funding?
So we've been on Kickstarter for 12 days now, and we've been working on this project since I think the early beginning of this year, sort of developing it, talking with manufacturers, getting ready to go live with our Kickstarter. And now we're finally live, and now we're trying to get the word out and get people to back us and stuff, and show off all the cool stuff we can make.
Well, that's awesome. You know, to say the creativity and the entrepreneurship and the man trying to make a big difference is dead in this country. Well, that's far from true. And there's a perfect example of a young man going ahead and making it work and not letting anything get in his way. So you think about Kickstarter, getting this gentleman some support so he can represent us and in the worldwide visitors as the aliens come down, they'll be impressed, and anybody that comes and certainly be impressed about this gentleman. So we'll be talking to you later, and have a great time.
Thank you very much.
My name's Kirk Dunkel, and I work for the Crazy Squirrel Game Store.
I'm Jasmine Schneider, and I also work for Crazy Squirrel Game Store.
Tell us about what you really do here.
Okay. Well, we work for the Crazy Squirrel Game Store, and we're a local game store in Fresno, on Fresno and Bullard. And we sell all types of board games. We run a lot of events. Our owner is part of the board of Zappcon, and so we hope to continue this and make it stronger and continue board gaming in the community.
So is Crazy Squirrel being there all the time? Are you seeing a big insurge of gaming, and where do you see it going?
Yeah, board games have been picking up quite a bit recently. With the newer designs of board games, they're more fast-paced and fun, and they're just more engaging than previous ones. We also have Magic the Gathering, which is a big trading card game. We have lots of events for that too. And so I think people are done and sit in front of their computers all the time. They like to get a little bit of social interaction with board games.
Well, we can certainly appreciate that, and social interaction never hurt any human being in a positive way like you guys are doing here at Crazy Squirrel. Thank you for your interview.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is Doug Bloomer interviewing Mr. Ian Pugh, who is a videographer, and we want to know more about him and how this all came about. And what we're going to tell you is about his latest production, his award-winning video, and where he's planning to go from here. So Ian Pugh, P-U-G-H, tell us about how you started in science fiction. Is that one of your main focuses? Where did this all begin?
I think I've always been into science fiction. I've always been into movies, but I definitely, in 5th grade, my teacher showed me Star Wars, and so ever since then I've been really into Star Wars and other science fiction films, TV shows, video games. But I've really just always been into science fiction. I feel like before I went to school, I would always watch, I watched a lot of movies growing up, and I always liked DVD special features. I always watched how they made the movies. It was always fascinating to me to see how they would turn a scene on either a green screen or on location, and they'd have the puppets and everything, and then they'd make it all come together, and the sound design, everything worked together. I always found that fascinating. So, well, in high school, my grandma had a video camera, and I borrowed her video camera, and she never got it back. And so a lot of times in class, I always was kind of a shy person, didn't like getting up in front of people. If we had an assignment where we had to get up and do a presentation, oftentimes I would ask the instructor, do you mind if I made a video? And they usually let me do it, so I'd go home and I'd make a video for, if it was a commercial advertising a product, I'd make a fun little video. You always like to make them fun and funny. And I show the videos in class, and then with friends I like to make little stop motion movies with action figures, and And so after high school, I knew I wanted to make movies, and so I went to San Francisco and went to the Academy of Art University, and I studied filmmaking up there for about 3.5 years. And my main focus was cinematography and editing, but also in film school you learn pretty much everything else. You learn directing, you learn writing, you learn acting. I even had a makeup class where I learned how to do makeup. And so you learn pretty much everything that you do, focusing on one or two things that you're really interested in. And so once I graduated film school, I felt like I had a really good understanding of how films are made. Before film school, I understood kind of how they were made, but then film school really kind of focused me, and I learned things about composition and how to light a scene and how to really fine-tune my editing skills. And so after film school, I didn't really do anything. I just stayed in San Francisco, and I worked for a wedding company, editing wedding videos. And then after that, I moved to Porterville, which is where I came from. And my wife and I got married on Halloween, and she had the idea of let's make a short film to show at our wedding. And so that's each project that I've done, I've learned a lot of different things. I mean, now I do green screen all the time, and I never wanted to do green screens because I feel like green screen always looks awful when amateurs like myself or not professionals like myself use green screen. It can look awful, it looks fake, and I never wanted things to look fake, but I kind of learned how to use green screen, and the black and white definitely helps hide a lot of your flaws. And so that's kind of the evolution of where I've come from and how I've gotten into filmmaking, I guess. I know what I want, and I know how to get it done, and so I do what I need to do to get it done. I know the stories that I want to tell and what I want it to look like, what I want it to sound like, what kind of emotions that I want it to evoke, and so I do what I need to do to get it done. I've done a lot of roles. I've had a lot of people help me, but for each production I do most of the jobs. I mean, I've been the writer on almost all of my projects. I've directed all my projects. I've been the director, I've been the producer on the project, I've been the editor, I've been special effects person, I've done a lot of the music. I've worked with some friends on music. I've even acted with John Neptune. I played the main character on John Neptune, so I've gotten into acting now. I never wanted to be an actor, but I've gotten into it. Mostly out of necessity, because I live in Porterville, where there's no filmmaking scene in Porterville, obviously. And so I don't really know anybody that I could have help me out. I know people in Fresno, but a lot of them have very busy schedules, and it's an hour away. And so if I need to shoot this Saturday, whoever I need might not be available, and I need to shoot this Saturday for whatever reason. Whether it's one actor is available, the camera guy wouldn't be available, that doesn't work out. So out of necessity, I needed to do all the jobs because I'm working on a zero budget, I'm not making any money, nobody's getting paid, I'm not getting paid, and so I need to do all this when I can do it. Effects, there's a lot of stuff that I do with John Neptune is a lot of special effects. I don't have anything computer generated in John Neptune. Everything is real physical models. I have to build all these little models. This rock is just a bunch of cardstock paper that I've crumpled up and spray painted into rock. So I mean, almost everything you see is real physical models, and I use Photoshop to kind of enhance things and mix things together. In Final Cut Pro also, it's not made for compositing, but it works. I should be using After Effects, but I don't have After Effects, and so I just use Final Cut Pro, and I've done probably more than I should be doing with that program. But I use Final Cut and Photoshop, kind of working them together to blend things together to make things look as real as I can make them, which isn't necessarily realistic, but it's more stylized, and I like that look, that it's real, but it's not real. I think that looks really cool. I always like Tim Burton's films because they always had a realistic look, but there's something off about them, and you didn't quite know what it was, and it's because they were miniature models, and that always looked really cool to me, to have that surreal look, and your brain knows what it is, but you don't know what it is, so that's always been really interesting to me.
Are there advantages to going to a film festival other than just to have people see your works? Or tell us about what the experience meant to you.
Yeah, so going to the film festival was really cool to me because, one, I got to show a lot of people my film on the big screen. A lot of filmmakers I got to see my film. But one thing that I realized going there was that even though I live here in Porterville, small town Porterville, I can make whatever movie I want to in my garage or whatever. But as a filmmaker that I met there was talking about, he was kind of in the same situation that I was in, where he lived actually in Los Angeles, but he and his friends got together and they made a web series. And they made a really good web series. I'm a big fan of the web series, but they put the web series online and they thought you put it on the internet, people are going to watch it. It's going to make you famous and you'll get rich that way. And that's kind of what I thought. I thought you put it on the internet, people are going to watch it. And he found out the same way that I found out, that people don't necessarily watch it. You really need to promote yourself, and even if you promote yourself, you might not make it. You might not get noticed. And I've had that problem with my series. Promoting it, as much as I promote myself, it's still not quite the impact that I was hoping to get from it. And so going to the film fest, I met him and I met their group and everything, and found out that they've had the same challenges that I've had. And I've made a lot of good connections that I'm still in contact with. And living in a small town is good, but I think you really need to know people who are in the business, people who live in Los Angeles or whatever, New York or wherever these films are being made. You need to know people that can kind of help you out, who will notice your stuff. Because making a really awesome piece of work and showing it to people in the valley, you're not going to go anywhere with that, because there's not that many people in the valley who can really help you out with getting the promotion that you need, getting the exposure that you need. You need people in the LA area who can really kind of help you out and help you meet other people who, because a lot of times it's not what you know, but it's who you know. And it's good if you know what you're doing as well, but you need to know the right people. And so definitely going to the film festival was some really good exposure for me, because I met other people who were like-minded with me, but also people who can help me out and who can do things, who can make it somewhere.